Hey guys, Les here. Let me just go around, it'll probably be easier. Today we're talking about cocktail tables. Now, if you're just starting your event rental business and you don't have any tables whatsoever, I still would highly recommend getting either 6 foot or 8 foot or a combination of the 6 foot and 8 foot tables, because they are still sort of your foundation for table rentals. They are the most popular items that will rent out as far as tables go. So don't jump straight into cocktail tables unless you want to. But if you want an item that's the most popular, I would still say 6 foot and 8 foot banquet or rectangular tables are the way to go, either plastic or plywood. Here we do carry a lot of plastic items so that they're lighter for the delivery guys, and we do have a lot of pickups in this area, so it's easier to sort of put them in people's vehicles instead of this really heavy plywood table. Now, cocktail tables are the exception. The plywood ones seem to be sort of more popular. I'm not that familiar with the plastic ones, and when I started buying them, I started buying the plywood versions. The plywood can be refinished a couple times after it's scratched up. Now, speaking of getting scratched up, when you're transporting them, make sure the top of each cocktail table is together like this, top to top, and then the base of the cocktail table isn't touching the top of the cocktail table. So essentially you would take this top and put them together like this, and then you can transport them in either a bag. There are some companies that sell specialty bags for these, or you can just carry them if you're strong enough in one hand or in two hands, or in some sort of cart. We utilize carts, and sometimes we just carry them. Now, they do split up into 3 pieces. The top, the pole, and the base do come apart. It's all pressure fit, so it's extremely easy. For example, here you can just tap it, and boom, you can see it comes out from the pole. And let me just lift this up because I don't think you can see the base here. This is the base. Again, the pole is pressure fitted to the base. You can sort of just tap it out. There's various ways, or sort of loosen it up. When you own these, you'll familiarize yourself quite quickly with how to take these apart. It's quite simple, and it's also simple for the client to put these together. There's no screws or anything like that. Typically, when you buy them, you do have to install this base, which is fairly easy. It just screws right on. Let me put this back on. When you do install them, give them a bit of a tap so that pressure fit sort of fits closer together. You really don't want to have clients grabbing them on site if you're setting up on site and the thing falling apart. So give them a bit of a good tapping when you put it all together, and that'll ensure it sort of stays all in place. I'm running out of breath here. Again, I'm not really used to talking like this. I'm not holding the camera like I usually do, guys, but I thought I'd do something different. I threw it on a little tripod. But yeah, they're fantastic. The other thing is, you do get more winter rentals with these cocktail tables, which sort of leads you into a different realm of clientele, which is fantastic. Because most of them go for, a lot of them do go for indoor functions, and those can happen in the winter or summertime. So I do highly recommend adding these to the inventory in the end. Even though they're not as popular as the 6 foot tables, as the 8 foot tables, they're still quite popular. We do probably most of our cocktail tables go out. We have about 24 of them go out almost every weekend in the summertime, and quite a few weekends in the wintertime. Especially with universities and colleges and stuff like that, they do have sort of like formal functions, and where I'm not sure what exactly they do, but they do use these cocktail tables quite a bit. Again, they're a bit fussy to transport, but they're a higher ticket item. We rent them out for $14, and our competitors rent them out for $16, $15, and $18, and I think one of them does it for $20. So we do it a bit lower. Again, we're newer, we're smaller, so our price is going to be a bit less. But a higher ticket item, those prices, by the way, are in Canadian dollars, so maybe it's in the US currency, it's 75-80% of what it is in the Canadian currency. So you can just Google it, but it's quite comparable. And again, a fantastic item. They typically, when you buy them, they come in, a lot of suppliers or manufacturers will provide you with 2 different poles. So you can even have the sitting one or the standing height one, but a lot of times you can opt out of different sizes. Now, for this one, by far is the most popular one, the standing height. We do have some stools that go with these, but the stools really don't go out that often. So I'm assuming most of the time in a function, in an event, the organizers assume that people will just be standing around them because the stool does not go out often. Now, what does go out often is our cocktail spandex cover, or just the regular cover, and then you can do a little tie around at the pole. Those actually go out quite a bit, especially the spandex covers. And the spandex covers are quite easy to, at least the ones we have, to wash and maintain and sort of hang and dry. And we rent them out for almost as much as we rent out the cocktail table for. So I think if you can afford it, add those spandex covers instead of stools. Maybe eventually you can add stools to it, but spandex covers, the black ones rent out the most. White ones are second. So I recommend eventually adding some standing height cocktail tables with spandex covers to your inventory if you're doing event rentals. If you don't have these, because they are a fantastic event rental item. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps give you an idea maybe of what, if you're looking to add some items, sub to the channel, and we'll see you guys again shortly. Take it easy and let's get some business done.